Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Addict, where sports it's all that matters. For this record, I'm going to be predicting the Tennessee Titans record for the upcoming NFL season. The experts have you guys 6-11. I looked at your schedule. At first, feel like it's hard to give you guys a lot of wins. Honestly, uh, I give you a 1-16 record at the end of the season. Then I took a second look, and I feel like an alternative record could be a 3-14. And the last alternative record that I looked at before I made this video, I went through it again. I gave it a slightly 5-12. Uh, but it's the 3-14, 5-12. I see it rare because you're playing a lot of good opponents, and there's a few that you can maybe you can pull the upset, might pull the upset, might. But I'll get to it first. Why I give you guys the 1-16 record, not a 6-11. Your question mark is Cam Ward ready? I mean, from what I heard, he seems ready. He wants to be a good leader in with the Titans, but he lacks supporting cast. Honestly, it's only supporting cast at Traylon Burks, but he needs to step up. If he doesn't step up, I feel like it'll be a tough rookie season for Cam Ward, honestly. Week one, you'll be at Broncos. The Broncos have new offensive player. Can they have a positive impact? Bo Nix is going into uh, year two. He has experience. He has a Super Bowl winning head coach. He has a good defense. I mean, I feel like it'll be too much to overcome for the Titans in week one, so I'll give you guys the loss there. Week two, the chemistry between Stafford and Adams, left tackle, Alert Jackson. I mean, I heard Stafford's going to be out for 10 weeks. Jimmy G is going to be starting, I'm assuming. Yeah, he most likely going to be starting week one and week two. I mean, Jimmy's an experienced quarterback. He's been to a Super Bowl, even though he lost over the Niners. But feel like he has experience. He has won many games, so I feel like I'll still take the Rams in week two, despite not having Stafford. But those were the question mark coming to the season. Did not expect Stafford to get injured. So then week three, you'll be again at home against the Colts. The Colts have a QB battle between Anthony Richardson versus Daniel Jones. I mean, can Richardson stay healthy? I mean, he got injured the preseason. I don't know if he'll be ready for week one and stuff. I haven't heard anything about it. So I'll give you guys the win here because it's week three. I don't know who's gonna be. I don't know how Anthony Richardson will be. Will Daniel Jones start? It's a question mark. I mean, it's week three. I feel like teams are barely settling in and stuff. I feel like after week nine, things start shifting. You start seeing who, in my opinion, I feel like week 10 is when you start really seeing which teams are contender and which one are pretenders, who's going to the playoffs, who's not, who's going to sit home and watch. So that's why I'll give you guys the win because I don't feel like the Colts will have something established. Then you have a brutal schedule ahead of you after week three. You'll be at Texans, at Cardinals, and at Raiders. But I'll start with week four at Texans. The Texans issue is the O-line. They brought veteran presence to fix that issue. But would that be enough, though? And they need a rookie receiver to step up fast to help CJ Stroud. But I feel like they still have something there established already. They have their franchise guy, which is, CJ Stroud. They had good coaching, D'Amico Ryans, you know. Yeah, they have question marks in the O line and that the wide receiver spot, but they have something established there with the Miko stuff. That's what gives the loss there. With the Cardinals, you'll be a week five at the Cardinals. Like I said, no changes on offense. They focus more on the defensive side and free agency. Maybe a big reason is because Will Harrison have a big year, and then they have Connor at running back. I feel like if Harrison's having a great day and Connor is having a good game on the ground, I feel like it'll be too much for the Titans to handle those two players on offense. Then the defense, if that defense somehow, you know, after they, focused a lot on the defense, maybe that defense somehow steps up, you know, and wins the game and stuff. Like they say, defense wins championships. So, sorry about that. Yeah, like they say, defense wins championships. So Harrison's having a field day, and Connor is as well. I feel like it'll be too much for the Titans. That's why I'll give it a loss there. Week six at the Raiders. Geno Smith. How will Geno Smith fit in this new offensive scheme? Because Chip Kelly is the offensive coordinator. I mean, as a coach, he wasn't that great in the NFL. I mean, in Oregon, he was an offensive mind, offensive genius. Can he do better as an offensive coordinator than he did as a coach? You know how Chip Kelly gets finds plays that will help his best player, and his best player is Gino. So, but can Gino fit in that scheme? And then the secondary is an issue. I know Cam Ward was one of the most ready quarterbacks to enter the draft this season. Uh, I'll give you the loss in week six because they have an experienced quarterback. They have a winning Super Bowl coach in Carroll. They have an offensive minded. I feel like if all that goes well for the Raiders, I feel like they'll take the win over you guys. But if and like I said, Cam Ward, was one of the ready quarterbacks to enter the draft this season. Uh, he somehow has a good game, and exploits those. My bad. And he finds holes in that secondary. He's gonna exploit those holes and destroy that secondary. But he doesn't have like that much supporting cast, so I doubt it. But you never know. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. Then week seven, you'll be hosting the Patriots. Can Drake Mayo elevate the team? And did they do enough on the O line? I mean, Drake Mayo is going to I think his second season. I'm not sure. Let me check. He's Drake Mayo. Oh yeah, he's on year two, like I mentioned. So I mean, year two, that he's already had somewhat of an experience at quarterback. So I'll give you guys the loss there for that reason. Week eight, you'll be at the Colts. I feel like by week eight, they should have. If Richardson is not staying healthy, obviously they're gonna put Jones, and I feel like you guys will split the season series because I feel like the Colts will learn from what happened the first game around, and they'll fix their issue. Like I said, Richardson's not playing consistent and it's not staying healthy. I feel like Jones will have the starting job for the rest of the season. I feel like it. Week nine, you'll be hosting the Chargers. Chargers the run game. Can they establish the run game? And they have 8 question marks at the wide receiver two spot. But I feel that's not enough for them to lose. I feel they have good coach in Jim Harbaugh. They have a good quarterback in Justin Herbert. You know, they have a they have a running game. They wide receiver two is question mark, but they don't have an issue with the one or the three at the receiver spot. So I feel like it'll be too much for the Titans to handle. So I'll give you guys a loss in week 9. Week 10, you go in your bye week. Week 11 versus Texans. I already explained the question about going to against the Texans. Okay, with guys, the loss against the Texans. Texans will sweep you guys. Week 12, you'll be hosting the Seahawks. What version of Sam Darnold will we see? Will we see the Sam Darnold from the early years that wasn't that great? Or will we see the Sam Darnold that played for Minnesota? But the only difference between the Seahawks and Minnesota, with Minnesota, he had all those weapons: Justin Jefferson, Addison, who else? Cook, the running back position. And here, like he won't have that much explosive players on his offense, but I feel like they'll somehow fit him in to make him feel comfortable in that offense. You know, so that's why I'll give you guys the loss there. But because I feel like they'll somehow find a way for him to succeed in that offense, even despite not having all those weapons. But we'll see. We'll see what version we get. Because it's week 12, he already had some playing time. Like 9 games already into the season. He's at week 12. He's already played half of the season. So I mean, that's why I'll give you guys the loss because he struggles on the offensive side in the first few weeks. Week 12, he should already have something. We should already know what version we're gonna get the rest of the season. The early Sam Darnold or the Minnesota version of Sam Darnold. That still made a couple. He still didn't make it far in the playoff, but was a lot better than the Sam Darnold we got when he was with the Jets. Jacksonville has a new coach. You'll be hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars week 13. New coach Liam Cohen in the running back room. Those are the only issue. New coach. I mean, you have a franchise guy in Trevor Lawrence. So I feel like that's why you get the loss. They have a new coach, but they have their guy right there, and Lawrence and stuff. Week 14, you'll be at the Browns. The prize who will be quarterback one, two, three. And Deion Johnson, will he step up? I don't know. That'll be a question. But week 14, I mean, they should already have. Obviously, it's week 14. They'll have their number one quarterback. Who's gonna be the starter? I mean, they might switch, during the season, but it's week 14. They should already have it. Obviously, they'll have it. So I'll give you the loss there because all the quarterbacks that they have, they can play, and stuff. Week 15, you'll be on my Niners. I mean, our issues stay healthy and how our new look defense. I know it's like a homecoming for us, because we get Robert Sala back. It's week 15. We should already know if our defense will be, if Robert Sala is going to get our defense back on track. And week 15, we should be already healthy. We lose some players, so I'll give you guys a loss against my Niners. Week 16, you'll be hosting the Chiefs. Chiefs issued left tackle and left guard. I mean, that's the only issue, but you're playing against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's always not an easy task, playing against them. Then Travis Kelsey, Worthy, you have to worry about Kelsey, Worthy, who else? Pacheco, that defense, they always, Spawn always has a good game plan on defense. So that's why it'll be too much for you guys to handle in week 16 against the Chiefs. Week 17, you'll be hosting the Saints. They have a quarterback battle, but it's week 17. They don't have nothing to lose. Sorry about that. They don't have nothing to lose. Obviously, that's why I'll take the Saints and they should have their quarterback. Week 18, you'll be hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars to finish off your season. I'll give you the loss there. Uh, so you have it. That's why I'll give you guys a 1-16. No, let's talk about the 3-14. I feel like you can somehow beat the Colts if somehow Richardson is the starting quarterback and he's struggling against you guys. They have to pull him out. Daniel Jones starts halfway into the game. I feel like it, or somehow you find a way to beat the Colts twice. So you got 2 wins there, and then your third win would be against the Saints. Week 17, nothing to lose. You get the win there. I mean, I don't see it. I don't know if it'll happen. Like I said, this is the alternative record, 3-14. Now let's go to the last alternative record, 5-12. I'll give you guys the win against the Colts, against the Raiders. If Cam Newton can exploit that secondary, maybe you guys have a chance to upset them. So that's 3 wins. Then against the Browns, I don't know who starting quarterback will be, but they should have it, by week 14. But somehow, maybe you upset the Browns and then you upset the Saints. So that's in you, and that's in up with a 5-12 record. That will end up with a 5-12 record. So my fellow Titan fans, NFL fans, which record is more accurate? The 6-11, the 1-16 I have you guys at first, or the alternative records that is the 3-14 or 5-12. Leave your guys' comments down below. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Until next time, don't forget this is Sports Addict, where sports, it's all that matters.